Hello and welcome to our first in our newest series of the Deepbridge Discovery Podcast. I'm joined by Jenny Bailey Cooper from Ferryx. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good,
Dealing
thank
with
you.
it? Dealing with the nice weather.
Yeah, we shouldn't complain, but it's a bit hot.
It is. We shouldn't complain, but we're allowed to a little bit.
Yes, yes.
Well, thanks for joining me anyway. We won't take up too much of your time, but I thought we wanted to introduce you to our audience, introduce Ferryx to our audience, and just give people a little bit of an idea about your background and your journey, how your company came to be, and a little bit more about your product. So just to give our audience a bit of an idea, Ferryx is a company which has developed the next generation of probiotics to support gut health where other products have failed. And Jenny is co-founder with Jenny. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your team?
Yeah, sure. So, in our team, we've got myself and my co-founder, Tristan Cogan. We're both, well, I'm a former academic. He's still an academic at the University of Bristol, and Ferrix is a University of Bristol spin-out company. We've brought on board people who really know what they're doing in terms of research commercialization, product development, finance. So we've built a team who knows what they're doing. We know the science, they know the commercial side of things.
It's always a good match. So
Absolutely.
tell me a little bit about your journey. How did this come to be? How did you come to co-found Ferryx?
Sure. So, Ferrix and the development of ferrocharma stems directly from my personal journey with gut health, combined with my PhD in gut immunology, which I did at the University of Bristol. So, I know I'm biased, but I think the gut is an absolutely fascinating organ. When you think about what it has to do, it's essentially a tube that's open at both ends, connected to the outside world. We put all sorts of things in there. We put some good stuff in there. We put some not so good stuff in there. We've got trillions of bacteria living within our guts as well. And our gut immune system has to cope with all of this. It has to know what is good and what we
Mhm.
just ignore and what is bad and something needs to be done about it. So I've always been quite fascinated with the gut. And the more we learn as scientists about the gut and how it functions, and the more we see about how there are links between the rest of our body, our gut isn't just important for gut health and digestion of food. It's important for all sorts of different things. We're seeing so many links now between sort of the brain and the gut, for example. And even conditions like Parkinson's disease, there's a gut link there, and it's absolutely fascinating. So I've had problems with my gut health pretty much all my life. I ended up working in gut immunology because it's amazing. And I thought, well, this is a real opportunity. So 1 in 5 people have irritable bowel syndrome or seek medical advice for irritable bowel syndrome. More like 1 in 3 people are actually affected by it. So I always say, if you don't have it yourself, you'll know someone who does.
Mhm.
And when you go to your GP with IBS, they'll rule out things like inflammatory bowel disease and celiac disease, and you're told it's good news, it's just IBS. And you're like, well, that's great, thank you, but I've
That's not
still
great, is
got,
it?
I've still got abdominal pain. I'm still
Mhm. Mhm.
feeling rubbish. I'm bloated. It's having a massive impact on my quality of life. What do I do? And you're told, well, you take a food diet, keep a food diary, and well, yeah, watch what you eat and try to minimize stress, which is, I feel, always a helpful comment.
Yeah.
Um, and sort of, this is a chronic condition. People usually start being affected by this and then in the teenage years, and it goes on for the rest of your life. It's fantastic. Um, and it really affected me personally when I was sort of, late teens, early 20s, those university years. When you're supposed to be really enjoying life and going out and socializing, doing all the partying and things like that, I was really struggling with my symptoms at that point.
Mhm.
And for me, sort of the IBS type symptoms that I had were things like abdominal pain, bloating, nausea and vomiting were like my two big ones. And the anxiety that caused. If I knew that I was going out to a social event, or particularly where there was food involved, I would get so anxious about, am I going to feel sick? Am I going to be sick? And then you sort of talk yourself into it, and it was awful. Yeah, as a university student, when everybody else is going out, on night out, and they're preloading on shots before you go out, I was preloading on Gaviscon to try and make sure that I get through a night out carrying a bottle of Gaviscon in my handbag. And
Yeah, the running.
exactly. So it made me actually avoid a lot of social situations.
Totally
Of
understandable.
course, I focused on my studies, and I got my degree, and then did my PhD, and I thought, why am I putting up with this? And I tried probiotics and things, but nothing had really worked. And one day, post PhD, I was working as a postdoc at the University of Bristol at the time, and I got chatting to Tristan, who I mentioned earlier. We're chatting in the corridor about, why don't probiotics work when somebody has sort of an active flare up of IBS or any gut condition?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they work? And he's had gut problems as well. And we thought, well, why don't we try and do something about this? Why don't we try and come up with a blueprint for what a probiotic should look like that would work in a flare up? And that's what we did. And we were both doing other jobs at the time. So we say this was an unfunded side hustle for a long time. It was something that we were both really passionate about. And we kept going at it and kept going at it. And so, fast forward 10 years, and our side hustle has produced a patented probiotic that can help to alleviate symptoms when people have a flare up or when they're really stressed, which is at the times when the conventional probiotics don't work. So in 2019, we founded Ferryx to commercialize this research. And through this, we've been able to launch Ferrocalm, which is our first food supplement, which contains our patented strain of bacteria.
Amazing. So you've really taken your personal experience and your scientific background and blended them into one to create a something which helps your experience and will help alleviate symptoms of other people. That's amazing. So tell me more about Ferrocom. What's the innovation behind that product? What makes it different to other products that are already on the market?
Yeah, sure. So our whole ethos is to help people with IBS take back control of their gut and their lives by delivering these scientifically backed probiotics that work in the times that we need them the most. And that's during a flare up. Conventional probiotics are very good at keeping well people well, and they are really popular, but they don't work when somebody has a flare up. And key to Ferrocalm being able to work in this environment is our rather unique strain of bacteria. So it's a strain of, it's a species of Streptococcus thermophilus called FX856. And this is something that can survive when you have an active flare-up, because that's why your conventional probiotics, things like lactobacilli and bifidobacteria, they die in that environment. It's really hostile and hard for them to survive. So we have something that does survive in that environment, and it's got anti-inflammatory properties.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose leading me on to my next question, what was the most challenging thing? I mean, you've got the idea, you've got the scientific background, you know what you want to do.
Yeah.
What was the biggest challenge that you faced in taking this product and creating it into something which was commercially successful?
Sure. So we've been quite lucky in that the technical side of things hasn't been too difficult. So again, sort of a lot of products that are under development, that probiotics that might be able to survive in that environment, are quite unusual. So some of them can be really, really difficult to manufacture. We're quite lucky. So ours is a Streptococcus thermophilus, which is usually used in the food industry. It's usually used to make yogurt. So you can grow this thing by the ton. It's so easy to grow. It's really cheap to manufacture and technically not very difficult. We work with a contract manufacturing organization who specialize in probiotics, and they're awesome, and they do all this for us. So we haven't really had too many difficulties with the technical side of things. because it's got a long history of use in the food industry, there are regulatory exemptions, which mean that we've immediately been able to put this product on the market as a food supplement without having to do sort of any additional testing. We know it's safe. We know it's not going to hurt anybody. Again, we always say it's as dangerous as eating a yogurt. And in fact, it's probably safer than eating a yogurt for some people because it doesn't contain any dairy products. So for people who are lactose intolerant, they can take Ferrocalm without having to worry about that. So we've had immediate access to the food supplement market because of that. We've done trials on this product that show that it works. So in our trials, 76% of people say they felt better after taking this product for 8 weeks. And when we look at the symptoms that it's having an impact on, we are seeing statistically significant improvements to things like bloating, abdominal pain, cramping, flatulence, and changes in bowel movements, those really key IBS symptoms. And actually, we see improvements to those symptoms within just 2 weeks, and that grows as people take it more. So it's really working. But our biggest challenge has been marketing. So as it's marketed as a food supplement, we can't make health claims on it. So we can't tell people that this is going to make you better. We can't call it IBS relief or anything like that. We can't tell people, if you've got a problem, take this, it will fix it. What we can do is talk about the data that we've got, so that the trials that we've done, because that's scientific fact. We can talk about how this product works. We can share testimonials from our awesome customers, but we just have to be really creative about how we market this product. As a scientist, that can be quite difficult because, of course, I always want to tell people about the nitty-gritty of everything that's gone into development of this, but it turns out people aren't really that interested in that.
They want to know the benefits.
Exactly. Whether that's a consumer looking to fix their problem, whether that's a potential retailer, whether that's an investor, nobody wants to really know how it works. They want to know what it can do for them.
Correct.
So it's been really difficult to distill down a marketing message that tells people what this product does without it being a health claim.
Yeah.
So that's been our biggest challenge. Fortunately, we brought in an awesome commercial guy, Tim Holmes, who's done this kind of thing before very successfully. And so he's guiding our marketing strategy alongside our awesome creative team who always love a challenge and are prepared to think about new creative ways that we can tell people what this does without making a health claim.
Yeah, I was actually going to mention your social media because you do some quite bold reels, and considering the topic, you just make light and a bit of fun of a problem that is serious and that a lot of people do face. But you kind of bring it a bit of light to it with your social media, and you don't have to make those claims. People can relate to it and relate to those reels, so they're always really funny, and it's a really powerful marketing tool that you use. So I do, and I appreciate how you've overcome those kind of marketing battles, I suppose, in order to get the message out using social media. That's really clever.
I mean, humor is always a good way to get some attention.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
We don't shy away of talking about things that other people might feel uncomfortable talking about. We're more than happy to talk about people's bathroom habits that people tend to hide away. Because it brings awareness to something which affects so many people.
Absolutely.
And just, let's get it out there a bit more in the open and talk about these things. I don't know about you, but it's that time of year now where I'm getting bombarded with emails from companies offering me like bloat-friendly dresses for your summer holidays and things like that.
Yeah, and you're basically saying, get rid of the bloat.
Exactly. Why do we accept this?
Why do we have to put up with it? Yeah, totally.
Exactly. And the thing is, I think so many people experience these sort of symptoms, but people don't talk about it. So we really want to start that conversation, get people talking about it, letting people know that they're not alone, that so many people experience these things and we don't have to put up with it. We can do something about it.
Yeah, totally. So in terms of being a CEO, I suppose as we said, your background is scientific. What's been kind of an experience? What's been your experience in transitioning, I suppose, from,
Mhm.
a scientist, which you still are, obviously, but also into more of a CEO role?
Yeah, it's been quite a change in mindset. Like I said earlier, just to stop talking about that science. When you work on something for years and you know all the intricate details of how it works and you're really passionate about the science, to maybe try and rein that in a little bit and stop talking about the science so much and more about the product and the company and what we can do for people.
Hmm.
So that's been quite a challenge, but it's also been quite a steep learning curve to suddenly have to consider areas that I previously didn't really know anything about. So things like finance and marketing, I didn't really know anything about those before. And now I have to be able to understand that to be able to do my job. Um, but I also found that I got some transferable skills. So communication being one of them, I was used to, as I did some teaching at the university. So experiencing in getting messaging across to people, uh, project management from having grant funding, doing market research and data analysis. It might be a different data set, but it's still data analysis.
Hmm.
R&D, of course, still ongoing, and funding. So looking for further grant funding. So that was quite comforting to know that actually it wasn't all brand new. There were some transferable skills there that I could take with me.
Definitely. So just in terms of your key customers, you mentioned about,
Mm.
people with IBS and particular symptoms, but in terms of, who your target market is, like, is this a broad audience? Is this just kind of, who do you find is people who suffer with this? Is it older people, or is it more general? Is it more people than you would think? Who do you target? Or is
Yeah.
this also a supplement that is only for IBS, or doesn't help other symptoms?
Yeah, so our target market is pretty broad. We primarily target people with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, which affects 1 in 5 people within the UK, and it's across a broad age range. It's not just something that affects you in later life. It can start when you're a teenager, and that's really quite debilitating when as a young person you're trying to get out there. Imagine you're going on a date and things like that, or just out with
Hmm.
friends, and it can be really uncomfortable, really embarrassing.
Yeah, I think the
So
embarrassment piece as well is something. So,
exactly.
something that you can target younger people with that'll actually help is always a great thing.
Yeah, exactly. And again, we've found that a lot of our customers have tried things for years and not found something that works. One of our customers told us that they've had IBS for 20 years and not found anything that's been able to help their symptoms. But after 4 weeks of taking Ferrocom, they were feeling a lot better.
That's amazing.
It's incredible,
What
isn't it?
what what a testimonial. Why do you think that is? I mean, why do you think that there hasn't been this kind of product in the market, and why this product is so special? And how do you see the market, which, kind of towards good health? How do you see that
Mm.
evolving over the next 5 or 10 years?
Yeah. So probiotics was first discovered 150 years ago now by
Wow.
a guy called Eli Metchnikoff, the grandfather of probiotics. So Eli Metchnikoff noticed that people living in a certain mountainous area of Bulgaria generally lived for a lot longer than other people. And he was really curious about why this might be. And he hypothesized that it's because they were drinking a fermented milk product. So this was part of their daily diet. And when he looked at this fermented milk product, it contained high levels of things like lactobacilli and bifidobacteria. So for 150 years, we have accepted that lactobacilli and bifidobacteria are good for us.
Hmm.
And that's just a blanket approach. Oh, lactobacilli and bifidobacteria are good. And yes, they are. They are good, but they're very good at keeping well people well. But they're actually quite fragile little bugs who don't survive when you have a flare-up or you're stressed. So we figured it's about time that we moved on. It's been 150 years now. Maybe it's time to look for something different. So that's why we took a new approach. Rather than just sort of relying on these historical strains that have always been used, let's do something different. And I think, consumers are recognizing the importance of gut health. And consumers are doing a huge amount of research into gut health and the impact of that on their overall well-being. People are no longer accepting any sort of snake oil product that's making wild claims about what it can do. People are looking for real scientific backed evidence for products that work.
Mm-hmm.
We are, we're seeing that clear shift from the more, the conventional yogurt drinks and plots of things that those Bulgarian villagers would have been consuming 150 years ago. We're seeing a shift from those sorts of products towards the more precision tailored supplements that target a specific need. And I certainly think that's going to continue over the next few years. People are getting far more interested in their gut health, and far more invested in their gut health, and they're wanting solutions.
Well, for me, I think your scientific background and then your willingness to take on this founding CEO role is what makes Ferryx very, very special, and why it's differentiated, and why Ferrocam is a different product than what's on the market. And I suppose from that, give us a little bit of an insight into your milestones. How have you gone from this idea to scaling this company, and what's been kind of the biggest achievement and milestone so far on the journey?
Absolutely. Well, I think the biggest milestone that we've had so far is getting a product out there onto the consumer market. So we launched Ferrocalm onto the consumer market on an absolute shoestring budget. At that point, we had an intern from the university who put together our website and built our social media. It was done on such a shoestring budget, but we did it. Mm-hmm. We got a product out there onto the market and people started buying it. Which just blew my mind. People took a chance and started buying it. And when they bought
surreal, I'm sure.
It really was. Because then, when they bought it, they liked it. They left great reviews. They told a friend. They came back and they bought more. And it was absolutely astounding to take something that we developed in a lab as a side hustle because we were interested in it, and to get it out there into people's hands and for people to start using it and say it's working for them and it's changing their lives is absolutely incredible.
Absolutely. So tell us what's next, Jenny. What do you have coming up on the horizon? Any new product development? What can we expect to see?
So we've got Ferrocalm on the market already. What we're wanting to do is take that further. So first and foremost, get it out there to more people who need it. Let's change lives of even more people. But we're also developing a product range to go alongside that. So it's not just going to be one product. We've got more in the pipeline, which are going to be coming out soon. I can't say too much about that now, but watch this space because we've got a great range of things coming. We launched Ferrocalm a couple of years ago, and over the last couple of years, we've been really testing our marketing strategy, our commercial strategy, seeing what works in the market, and we're coming to the end of that phase now. So right now, we're about to launch our new branding and our new website, our new commercial strategy, and it's a really, really exciting time. We are also looking for investment at the moment. So we've got everything ready to go. We've developed a commercial strategy, which has been tried and tested. We've built a team of people who've been there and done that before in the healthcare space. And we're now looking to raise £1.5 million to allow us to execute all these plans and really sort of skyrocket Ferryx into being a household name.
Absolutely, and I believe it will be, and I'm really excited to see this company continue to grow. Tell us where can consumers currently buy Ferrocam? If what shops, where can they buy it?
So currently, all of our sales are direct to consumer, and the best place to buy it is our website, ferrocalm.com. That's FERROCALM.com. And you can also buy it on Amazon as well.
Lovely. And before we go, tell people where they can find you, follow you, social media. Where can they get more information?
If you want more information about Ferrocom, check out our website, or you can follow us on social media. If you search for Ferrocom on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you'll find us there.
Great. Thank you so much for joining me, Jenny. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great to speak to you, and I wish you the best of luck for the future.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.